I recently am just back from an amazing vacation with my 3-year-old toddler. This included an 8-hour flight and 5 days away, and I literally took carry-on only. I cannot tell you how amazing this was. We were in and out of the airport so fast. So if you have a holiday coming up and you're feeling a little nervous about packing for your toddler and a bit stressed, I hear you. I've been there. I've done a lot of international travel the last few years with the kids, where I know now what is truly essential. So I'm going to show you how. Item 1, the pram. It is essential for easy travel to have a pram with you from door to door and store it up in the cabin baggage, because then your toddler can have a relaxed experience and they don't have to walk long distances through the airport, stand in long lines when they're tired. It means they can nap if they need to, or if you arrive at nighttime, they can fall asleep in the pram. And I feel like we have averted so many meltdowns just by having the pram with us. So you do need a pram that meets the airline requirements for going up in cabin baggage. We use the Baby Zen Yo-Yo, which is under 7 kilograms. It's really lightweight and has been an absolute godsend during our international travel. So I'll show you how easy it is to fold. It is super simple. It's lightweight. You can wear it like a handbag when you need to get on and off the plane. It fits super easily in the overhead compartment. And actually, I believe it is designed for travelers. Most airlines will require you to have a custom bag to keep your pram before they will allow it to go in the overhead compartment. And if you don't have one, and if they have run out of the versions that they give you for free, then there's a chance that you risk them taking the pram and checking it in, and then it could cause you a delay once you land while you wait for them to bring the pram out. All right, now moving on to backpack. It is invaluable to have a backpack with you when you're traveling. Having 2 hands available is amazing. It also allows you to do just carry on, because you've been pushing the pram with one hand, pushing a little suitcase with the other hand, and everything that you need within arm's reach is on your back. The first thing I would put in is a spare change of clothes for both yourself and your child down the very bottom of the backpack. This is just in case you have any spills or if they're a little unwell. I'd also put your child, if you're traveling at night, in a pair of their pajamas. You can put them straight to bed when you arrive at your destination. If you are going to a winter climate, having a puffer jacket or some big jacket, don't put it in your suitcase. Wear it onto the plane and you can just store it up in the compartment. The other thing I'd have your child wear is a pull-up diaper for the entire journey, even if they're potty trained. This is great for toddlers because you just don't know when you're going to end up in a situation where you can't get to a toilet. You might end up in long queues, or you might have the seatbelt sign on for a long time. So having these diapers on your child really will take a lot of the stress out of the situation for both of you. I would also then put 2 extras into the backpack for easy reach. Also make sure to have their favorite cuddly and comforter in your backpack so that it's available for them when they need it, and it's good to have a spare one in your suitcase also, just in case this one gets lost. I would also highly recommend having iPad with all their favorite shows downloaded. Also include their full water bottle. What is great when it comes to a lot of these airlines and their considerations to children are not many restrictions when it comes to liquids and foods specifically for kids. So do check your airline's requirements, but if you can, take a full water bottle on the flight for your child, as well as a lunchbox full of a healthy lunch that you would be happy for them to eat, and lots of snacks. And I feel like on travel days, I really just let the routine go out the window, the structure and the expectations go out the window. They eat when they want, they sleep when they want, they watch iPad when they want. The next thing that I have found to be awesome on flights is having some kind of little bag like this with all your essentials that you would want to grab throughout the flight. Having this kind of bag, you put it in your seat pocket, and it might be your glasses, tissues, wet wipes, sanitizer, lip balm, earpods, anything like that goes into this bag, and then you're not getting in and out of your backpack throughout the flight or needing to go into your suitcase in the overhead compartment. What I also put inside here, let me find them. These I always have. Bribes. I always have bribes for travel days. I give one of these to my toddler as a reward once we've sat down in the plane and she's comfy and we're all settled in, and she gets to enjoy a lollipop during takeoff. And then I keep a backup for some other points through the journey in case it is needed. You just never know. And just quickly, if you are finding this video useful so far, please do boop the like button. It would be great to know that you're finding this helpful, and it can help the video spread to more people. Thank you so much for doing that. My next recommendation for your backpack is Panadol. Now, this might be a little bit controversial, but I just have to tell you. So I give my children Panadol just before we board every single flight we go on. The reason I do that is to avoid them having a lot of distress due to any ear pain or any other pain that might come up during the initial parts of the flight. And no doctor has told me to do this. This is not a medically recommended thing. This is just something I've chosen to do so that my children can have a peaceful start to the journey. Of course, you do whatever you're comfortable with. You do what works for you. Now, when it comes to activities, I would recommend 2 max. You do not want to be lugging around stacks of activities on a flight. I'll give you an example of what I bring for my daughter. It's one of these little sticker books where you can choose the outfit and dress the girl. And I bought it for her new, so she had to take off all the pieces first. And it was really, really fun. That maybe took 40 minutes. And of course, last but not least, passports, documents, cash, and your phone. So that's all the key things you want at arm's reach. You'll use it on the flight, you'll use it in the airport, can go in the backpack. I'd also recommend waterproofing any items because changes in cabin pressure can cause leaks, so use snap lock bags. Moving on now to our little carry-on suitcase. So firstly, clothes. The priority should be easy on, easy off, nothing too precious. My rule of thumb is typically 3 days for one item, and we just kind of re-wear things over and over. And I think that's okay when you're on holiday, unless you're rolling around in the mud and having that kind of adventure, then it's okay not to wash things every day. Of course, having underwear for each day, that's a different thing, that's hygiene. But I think for everything else, pants, shirts, jumpers, jacket, you just wear it over and over. So really be brutal with yourself. Just go light, just pack what you really think you're going to need, and that will save you a lot of space in your suitcase. What I would recommend as a rule of thumb is keeping one side of your suitcase for clothes, half for you, half for your toddler, and then the other side of your suitcase is available for what comes next. I recommend bringing spare shoes for your child just in case their shoes get lost, and having a spare water bottle is super handy also. Now, one area I would not skimp on is sleep essentials. Basically, anything you can do to help your child sleep well is going to make for a better holiday for both of you. That might mean something like this, a sound machine. If your toddler is still using a sound machine, bring it along. It might mean their favorite cuddlies, their favorite pajamas. Next, I would pack toiletries and medication, and I would use the travel bottles as much as possible and keep everything to an absolute bare minimum, with the plan that you would use a lot of things in your destination, like soap from your hotel. So optimize where you can. Also pack a few fun activities to be done with your toddler on the holiday, but really don't go crazy. I think you can assume that on holiday there are so many new sensory inputs that your child will be quite engaged with where they are. Even something as fun as walking around and looking at the new flowers or the new plants and collecting leaves, things like that. Quite often when my toddler needs a bit of downtime, I just pass them the iPad, they watch their favorite shows, they relax. But of course, you do whatever works for you and your child. And that is everything that goes into the suitcase. As you can see, it fits together pretty nicely with the clothes folding up in little packages and going in like a jigsaw puzzle. The shoes are in plastic bags. Everything is just nice and ready, set, go. Few optional items to take on your travels, but I would highly recommend avoiding these if you can. One would be a toilet seat or potty. I would only recommend this if your child has a high aversion to using new toilets. Another thing you might want to take is a monitor, but again, it's bulky, takes up space, and only do it if you really, really have to. If you did want to take a monitor, we use one from Vertec, which had the most highly rated reviews online, and it is absolutely amazing. I actually love this monitor so much more than the fancy one we have at home. So if you ever want a demonstration or review on that product, do let me know in the comments and I can do that. Another thing to avoid would be a car seat. It really depends on what your plans are at the other end of your travel and what the local laws are. Another thing to avoid is taking a travel crib. Again, try and figure it out at the other end, like at the hotel or at your family's house or wherever it is that you're staying. Hire one if you need to. So if you can avoid these things, it really will help streamline your travel. Now that you've learned all about international travel with a toddler, you might also be interested in this little nutshell. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great holiday.